yourself to relax. Let's put the holiday stress away and have some time for a little bit of beading. I thought I'd show you how to make a cute little beaded toggle today with seed beads. It's featured in our Nordic Christmas bird project, so I thought you might like to know how to do that, see it on video, because we do have excellent PDF diagrams and instructions for making this entire bracelet. And we already have great instructions for techniques like odd count peyote stitch, but I thought it would be nice to show you how to do that beaded toggle to finish your project. And I think it's a really great technique if you don't have a toggle clasp or a clasp that you like, but you've made a beautiful seed beaded piece and you want a clasp quick and one that matches perfect, you can use the seed beads that you already have to do that. So I thought I would show you that today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful holiday. You can always watch this video on replay if you're busy today. And of course, we've made it easy for you to shop the products that we're talking about today. If you're watching at artbeads.com/live, you can easily shop those products while I'm talking. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, that's great, thank you. But if you want to shop those products while watching, definitely hit that link that we've provided and it'll take you to our website where you can watch the video and shop along with it. And we do have some great deals for Thanksgiving, so great time to shop while you're waiting for your turkey to cook. So I'm gonna flip my camera and we're going to get started with this lovely little beaded toggle. All right, this is the Nordic Christmas bird bracelet in question, and we're going to be making this cute little beaded toggle here. And you can find this bracelet in the artbeads.com design studio. It comes with complete instructions and nice PDF diagrams for how to make all of this. I'm just going to show you how to make this little beaded toggle to finish off your project beautifully. I love the red and white seed beads that are used in this original project, and you can shop those here right on the video. If you click the shopping bag, you can see all of the products that we're using here today, and we will be showcasing featured products in the banner, and you can shop right here on the video. I won't disappear, but if for some reason I do, it's easy to come back and find me. Just head to artbeads.com/live. But yeah, it makes it super easy to shop. So we've got those original red and white beads that we used in this project here. For my demo, I picked out these lovely cream and like almost a coppery red color. I think it gives it a really nice, like a vintage Christmas sweater feel. I just love how those colors turned out together. So we're working with 11/0 Toho round seed beads today. I've got a beading needle, size 12, some cute little scissors to cut my thread, and Toho 1G thread that we're using here today. So I've already cut some thread. I've got about 2 feet here. I think that will be plenty for the little beaded toggle that we're going to be making today. And I'm gonna thread my needle there. Got that done, and I'm gonna give myself a nice tail because my needle tends to like to slip off of my thread. It's a nice silky thread that's easy to work with. So sometimes when I go too fast, it comes right off my needle, which isn't ideal. All right, so I'm just going to show you how to get started with the odd count peyote stitch. Like I said, we've got videos on our website too that shows you how to do this. I'm just going to pick up 13 beads to make those first 2 rows of odd count peyote stitch. So I've got 7 here. Let's add a little more. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, so let's make sure that we do in fact have 13. 4, 6, 8, 10, 13. All right, perfect. And I'm gonna add that to my thread, and I'm gonna leave a little bit of a longer tail because for odd count peyote, I like to use the catch the tail thread method, where you actually pick up the tail thread at the end of the row to start the next row. So we're gonna add our technically 3rd row of beads because these are the first 2 rows strung all on one. So I'm picking up a bead. I'm gonna skip over that first bead and come through the next one. That's gonna start to stagger my rows up here a little bit, and it's going to be a little wonky when you start. Peyote stitch always is a little bit wonky, but once you get going, you'll start to see it form. So I've picked up another bead. I'm gonna skip over this next bead over and come through the second bead over. So we're always skipping over a bead to create that peyote stitch effect. And then pull tight. I like to kind of adjust as I go so I can start to see those forming. Like I said, it's a little wonky starting out. Trust the process. Picking up another bead, I'm gonna skip over that first bead over and go through that second bead over. So we're passing over the bead right next to the bead we're coming out of and going over the second bead over. You can start to see these little staggered rows start to form. So we're just going to do that all the way down. Let's go. There we go. So cute. All right, and then we're picking up another one, skipping over a bead and going through the next one. And then picking up another bead and going through the next one. All right, so for our last bead, this is where it gets a little bit different, and this is where we need that long tail that's long enough to pick up for all of the rows in our peyote stitch. So you can see that last bead on the row there, we don't have another bead to go through to continue the row. Let's make sure that bead actually doesn't fall off here. There we go. So yeah, so we've got one more bead to pass over, but we've got no bead after it to skip through. So what you're actually going to do is you're going to string on another bead, get it kind of lined up with that last bead, and then you're going to bring your tail thread over your working thread and then loop around that tail thread. So what I like to do is I like to put the tail thread under my fingers like so, and make sure it's over that working thread. So I need to get my working thread up here and my tail thread right here. All right, so we've got that last bead added. Our tail thread is coming over our working thread, and we're gonna loop our working thread back through that bead we just added, looping around the tail thread and back through the bead we just added. And that cinches up the row and turns our row so we're in place to start the next row. So you can see we've got our first 3 rows of peyote stitch in place. From there, for this next row, you're just gonna add a bead and go through that next staggered up bead in the 3rd row that we added in the previous step. So that's really easy. And when you end this row, it's just like normal peyote where you have a bead to go through to end the row. So super easy to get going, and you don't need very many rows of peyote stitch to make this little toggle bar. There's only like 12 or 13 rows of peyote stitch. So you just keep going with that, and eventually you'll have a little peyote stitch strip. So you would continue this row as normal. You've got that last bead to go through, turn and start working this way, and then catch the tail thread on this end as I showed you to continue. And eventually you'll have a little peyote stitch strip that looks like this. And you can see even this little strip has a little pattern. There is a diagram in the instructions that shows you how to do it. I did a little bit of a different look here. I thought I would experiment, but you can do it that original way as well. So when you're making these beaded toggles where you're gonna zip up the ends, one thing that you wanna be sure of is that you can see on this end of the peyote strip, it ends with this bead staggered up, this bead staggered down, up, down, up, down. You want to make sure your other end that you're zipping to ends in the opposite way. So this one has has staggered down first, staggered up, staggered down, staggered up. That'll make it zip up nicer. And I will show you how to zip up those ends to make your little toggle bar. So I'm going to put my needle on this thread here. Threading the needle once again. There we go. And it's super easy. So I've got my thread coming out up here. What I'm going to do is kind of pinch those ends together, and we're going to come through that first staggered up bead on the other side, and then zip through to the staggered up bead in the next bead over, like so. And it's just going to zip it up really nicely. So we've got that. So we're coming out on the left side. We want to zip through the right side, that next up bead, and then zip through the left side, next up bead. And just do that down the length of the piece. So you're just zipping up those ends nice and easy, weaving through. I want to get that thread out of the way. So I'm coming up through the next up bead on the right side, going through the next up bead on the left side to zip those up. Coming through the next up bead on the right side and the next up bead on the left side. Zipping up. Oops, and my thread got looped around the body of this piece, so I'm gonna untangle that. There we go, nice and zipped. And then zip through, zip through, zip through. And then I like to come through this bead here. You can see like we've zipped up the ends, but these two should be connected just to make it really secure. So I like to come through that one and back up through there. There we go. So our ends are nice and zipped up. Now you could add your embellishments on this side first, but I like to go back through the zips and kind of secure my zip even further just to make sure. I'm gonna actually weave my thread. Oops, and I messed up. I didn't follow the bead path there. We want to make sure we follow the bead path so we don't have threads showing like that one was. Let me try again. Let me thread my needle here. I gotta use my mouth here to, gross. I hope you didn't hear me like licking my thread. Happy Thanksgiving. All right, so there we go. And then go up this way. So I'm just going to go back through the zip that I made just to give it like extra security. My thread came off my needle again. Uh-oh. Got a knot there. There. That's what I like about this thread. Sometimes it seems like there's a knot, but if you just pull it, it will untangle itself, which is so nice. So let's get this needle back on this thread. Hopefully I don't have to lick my thread again. But it's not like you're licking your thread. You just like put it in your mouth to give it a little bit of a, if it's fraying at the ends. All right. Going back up, following the bead path, just giving that zip a little extra, giving the zip a little extra zip. And then we'll start adding our embellishments here on this side. There we go. All right, so now we're gonna start adding the little embellishments that you see here on this toggle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up a red seed bead, and I'm coming out of this white seed bead here. I'm gonna go down through the next white seed bead over, and then up through the next white seed bead over from that, and just repeat that twice. So picking up a red seed bead, going down through the next white seed bead over, coming up through the next white seed bead over up from that and doing that again. So what are you guys having for Thanksgiving? Are you having turkey or ham? My husband is going to make prime rib roast on the grill, and I think it's gonna be, oh, so good. I'm gonna make some potatoes and stuffing to go with it. So let me know what you guys are having. Turkey, ham, prime rib. All right, so we've got those 3 in. I'm coming up through that next white seed bead over, and what I'm gonna do from here is just go through all 3 of these red seed beads, just to make a nice little triangle to start. Just going through all of them. This color, this red color also kind of reminds me of like cranberries. It's very cute. All right, and then from there, we're gonna add another seed bead, another red seed bead, and go back through this red seed bead. So we're adding a red seed bead between these initial 3. So pick up another one, go through the next red seed bead. Pick up another and go through the next red seed bead. There, and we've made our little triangle a little bit bigger. I'm gonna go back through this first red seed bead that we added to this round. And now we're going to add 3 seed beads. So I'm gonna pick up 3 red seed beads and go through that next red seed bead in the last round that we added. So 2 seed beads over. So picking up 3, 1, 2, 3, and going through that next seed bead over in the last round we added. There we go. And then we do that one more time. 1, 2, 3. And then go through, and sometimes it's hard to tell, just go 2 seed beads over from where your thread is coming out of. And then you've got this nice little swirly, and you could end there, but what I'm going to do actually is I'm gonna go down through this closest white end bead. I'm gonna go through a couple, just follow the bead path. And then what we're gonna do, I'm gonna come through this bead, and instead of going up through another white seed bead, I'm gonna position my needle so it's coming out of the center of that triangle, the center of those 3 inner seed beads. And we're just gonna add a little boop. I like to call it just a little boop, a little like button feature on the end of our toggle. I think that's such a cute little touch. So you add a bead and then just go back down through the center, and your needle will naturally kind of go back through some beads when you're going down through the center of that tube. And then you just pull tight, and you've just got that cute little button or boop detail on the end of your toggle. Super cute. So then from here, what you would do is just weave your thread on this side and do the same steps to make the beaded detailing on this end of the toggle, and you'll have this cute little beaded toggle that you can then attach to your piece. So on this one, all you have to do is use the thread that you've been using for your bracelet, or add a new thread, weave it here, add 2 seed beads, stitch onto your toggle clasp, and you want to make sure that little detailing is poking out, and then weave back through those 2 seed beads and back into the body of the bracelet, and then come over here, do the same, and then you've got that, and then you make a loop on the other end to fit your toggle, and you've got this wonderful look here. So cute. So then you have a lovely bracelet, and the toggle clasp matches perfectly. I think this is such a good idea if you don't have a clasp readily available, or you just don't have one that you're liking with your piece. You can use seed beads to make it perfectly matching. And you know, a lot of times when you're doing seed bead projects, they come with tubes or bags of seed beads, and you'll have beads left over. So that's a great way to use up some of the leftover beads, is to make a matching toggle. So cute. So hopefully you enjoyed that little demo of how to make a cute seed bead toggle like this one that you can use for your seed bead projects. It's the perfect way to finish up a cute little piece like this. So I'm gonna add my picot edge, stitch on my toggle clasp, and I'll have a really cute holiday bracelet. Super fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed that demo. Again, you can shop all of these products that I used here today, even some cute little scissors, at artbeads.com. We've got those products featured. You can shop them right here on the video, and this video will be available on the website always to replay and shop. So definitely bookmark this page. We'll have a lot more videos coming for you, and we've got great deals going on right now for Thanksgiving, so it's a great time to learn some new techniques, maybe shop, get some more seed beads. So wonderful. So I will say goodbye.